When looking through and understanding hip hop, we see that it's not just on the first base. Some verses can be disses with underlying meanings and nuance. And when we talk about Drake and Future and their recent beef, it's clear to see that there was more than meets the eye. ClowdyWorld, and we'll break it down Drake's verses and kind of the sub dissing that led up to him and Future beefing. So we're gonna take it back to that recent album, For Your Loss, with that man 21 and Drake. Drake's more in verse, many are saying now, was allegedly about Future this whole time. In the first half of the verse, Drake says this line. A lot of us thought it was about Metro and some thought it was about The Weeknd. He says, what happened to that claiming OVO? We traded him. Many people was always trying to see if it was about The Weeknd either, which didn't make sense because neither of them really claimed OVO. But many don't know is that Future and FBG had a lot of ties and mob ties with OVO as well. That was something that they were rocking for a while. Drake was even rocking a lot of the Al stuff and the OVO chains. Now for the longest time, there was also a rumor that Metro's been pillow talking to a lot of different women. Even DJ Academics mentioned it on a few of his lives that he had certain women he knew in California that also had ties and knew what was going on as well. Now you'll see and probably can guess that a lot of these women mess with different rappers and mess with the same rappers. And that's kind of how Drake found out about some of these so-called jokes. F it, let me kick it basic. Love ain't got love for the boys, so they fake it. Crack a couple jokes to them on some snake. Even on type with Future and Metro, sip and drink and activists on some screw type. Just a sap running through the crew type. Bunch of rich, hope confused type. She ran her mouth cause I'm boss type. Clearly, there was a lot of impact and resonance going on. No matter how many times the rappers tried to downplay the beef, it's clear what's been said has already been making its rounds. Then, going forward on the verse, he mentions, but if I send a verse today, then they'll take it. Shoot a video, arm around me like we aces. Or pop up at my shows, jump around with me on stages. Drake and 21, more M's. He raps about that and mentions how they'll always take that verse again and again, which talks about Metro a lot and how he would use a lot of that music even though they said they didn't rock with him, and how he's rarely on stage with Drake. However, that same year Her Loss dropped, so going forward, they even conclude the verse with the lines, which always threw off because it said he was rapping that way through the verse, but it makes a lot more sense now when the verse probably why these love to shower me with praises. Might have a rapper girl, but you ain't. What would Pluto do? He that, so I did it. Hey, now it makes sense since a lot of this was about a girl. Are we serious? And as we already know, these rappers go crazy and crash out by these random johns. Sneak dissing, I don't understand, dog. Pillow talking, acting like a fed, dog. I don't need another fake friend, dog. Can't be about a cause we sharing, dog. In your feelings, why you playing, dog? I hope the reason isn't solely about it, but we already know it is, fam. A lot of these rappers and goats, they got a lot of different egos going. And them egos with the women is a bad collaboration. Now we've been seeing this type of talk for a while, man, because it really is crazy. We seeing that album that recently came out, that Her Loss album, having a lot of ripples in the culture. I wanted to speak about it for a while because Her Loss not only to me was a musical masterpiece, but many people won't consider it to be one of Drake's top 4 to 5 albums. It's very recent, and I get it hasn't really caught a lot of attention. But if we talk about some of the beat changes, the flows, some of the new beats that were being rapped on, kind of looking at BNX a lot because since that album had came out, we hadn't seen a lot of music being used with these newer underground instrumental engineers and beat creators. Even with BNX, he wasn't even getting a lot of looks from people like Cardi or Trippy early at this time. Yet we were seeing this mainstream music was starting to incorporate beat producers like BNX and use their sounds more, especially on the new album and song with that boy Rich the Kid. Fuck. Especially on that #1 hit with Drake and Yeet, I really don't be giving no. Where we clearly see BNX at his best and showing some of his most artistic creativity and versatility. Basically saying, ever since that album came out, it's been a very clear trend and change in the rap industry. Creativity and artistically, I have to say there's been an increase. It feels like artists, even on the bigger stage, are taking more chances with their beat production, engineering, and sound. And it's clear that with that also advancing, it's been the era of the truth, where a lot of these rappers, entertainers, and engineers, even comedians, are being open and vocal about not faking it no more. It seems like the industry itself is crashing apart, where a lot of these artists and entertainers don't even know if they like each other anymore. We've seen some of the most impactful and creative tracks from Future and Drake collaborations, and it feels like going forward, those probably won't be for a very long time. In all honesty, we've been around in the industry long enough and seen the signs that show that a lot of this stuff really is in-house. Sometimes they'll even manufacture the beef to push the music, which is what a lot of people felt like Drake and Kanye were doing during their Donda, and as we already know, one of Drake's most overbloated and most well-known albums, Certified Lover Boy, man. But back to the focus. When looking at all this stuff right now, it's clear that Drake and Future have some outstanding beef that they gotta work out. Now, whether it's gonna stand 10 on toes or not is up to other people. But to me, getting Kendrick in the mix and kind of getting his name on Metro's side definitely made this a little bit more Infinity War than it needed to be. We're seeing rappers of all shades and sizes, of all calibers and skill sets, picking sides. OVO and the big dogs, or Future and the real trap goons. It's a lot going both ways, and some heavy hitters on both sides as well. The way it's looking, if I had to be honest, I'm thinking it's gonna be Drake, Dirk, Red, probably versus that man Weeknd, Metro, and Future. A battle for the music and a battle for the eras, man. What more would we want from some of the biggest and the best in the industry? Rap music is getting very interesting, and I, for one, ain't going nowhere. ClowdyWorld, and let me know you all's thoughts. How do you feel about the recent music that's been dropping, as well as some of the new content that's been coming out? Do you feel like that man Kendrick bodied that man Drake? Do you feel like it was more diss toward Cole? How do y'all think? And let me know y'all thoughts. ClowdyWorld, and we gone.